Roberta walks into her cubicle at the start of a new week, disheveled, not at all her usual tidy appearance. Sat down and leaned back in the chair and thought back to when it all began. On the previous Monday morning, Roberta Lee was in her cubicle at work. Friend Jasmine waltzes in and says, "Roberta, this weekend was intense. There's this old blind woman who lives down by Dalton's Creek. She's kind of like an old-style medicine woman. And people will come to visit her just to hear her speak." "No," said Roberta. "Yeah. You bring her some tobacco, and she'll give you a drink. With all these leaves floating around in it. It's not alcohol, but it's something, 'cause it don't taste that good, but in for a penny, in for a pound." So I drank it down, and just like that, she knew what I was hiding quicker than you could blink." "How'd she know?" I don't know how she knew, but by the questions she was asking me, I knew she knew." "Really?" said Roberta. "Tell me more." "Well, people come to visit her 'cause they want to know how they can lift the weight that is bearing on their soul." "What weight?" said Roberta. "Guilt," said Jasmine. "What else? 'Cause, well, it's all sin is, Roberta. Just some of us are good at hiding it is all. Now stay with me here." Roberta knew Jasmine had a hair trigger temper, so she just listened, paused. "Well, okay then," Jasmine continued. "When it's your turn, she'll take your hands in hers, and stare into your eyes, with them long dead eyes of hers. And she'll be asking you questions. And if she don't like the answers, or if she thinks you're lying to her, she'll be squeezing your hands and looking deeper and deeper into your soul, like you can't keep her out. And you're wondering, what is she seeing? What is she seeing with them long dead eyes of hers? And before you know it, you're just falling to pieces right in front of everybody and saying things you thought you never would. And then your eyes are getting so heavy and your head falls back, and for a split second there, you catch a glimpse of the others. And she's in front of each one of them, too, at the exact same moment she's in front of you. And it couldn't be, but it was just the strangest thing. And it must have been a dream, but I swear I saw it. Then she was talking to each of them, and they're talking to her all at the same time, and I couldn't hear them, and they couldn't hear me. And I could feel her picking me up and cradling me in her arms, rocking me gentle, and as I closed my eyes and fell asleep, said Jen, "Well, I haven't slept that good in forever. We were all there for the same reason. We wanted to be forgiven, because we've suffered enough. And it worked. I heard the birds singing that morning. I can't remember the last time I actually heard the birds singing. And smiling, ooh, Roberta, you have to come with us next weekend." "Okay," said Roberta. "I'm in." So that night at the dinner table, Roberta told her family all about this blind woman who lives down by Dalton's Creek, and her parents told her to stay away from any of that. Roberta said she would. Then later her grandmother said, "Roberta, darling, I want you to find out more about this blind woman. Would you do that for your babushka?" "Yes, Grandma." So the next day Jasmine told Roberta, "Well, from what I hear, the old blind woman grew up in darkness. She grew up wild and learned from nature how to be a voodoo child. That's why she lives out in the swamps. The plants are her cures. Guaranteed elixirs not sold in stores." "And you're sure she just wants to help people? What's in it for her?" "Well, some said that if you don't bring her tobacco, she'll get really mad and scream at you in some old language nobody understands, and throw you out and never let you come back." So Roberta took what she had learned, and that night she told her grandma all about it. And then Babushka, or she is better known as Olga, the queen of the gypsies, felt she had enough evidence to bring it before the gypsy council. So in a trance she stood before her sisters and said, "Sisters, I believe that the truce has been broken, and there are now witches and wear a mask. They no longer kill their victims, they entice them out to an isolated spot, give them a sleeping potion and then feed upon them. And then afterwards they convince them that they are happy and haven't felt that good in ages. Their victims will not understand the hunger that they now feel. They will simply read it as a desire for more healing, a need for more healing." So as Roberta got ready to go out with her friends that Friday night, her babushka pulled her aside and said, "Now remember, Roberta darling, under no circumstances can you drink that potion. I've shown you the truth about potions now, haven't I? Yes, babushka. I want you to swear." "I swear." Pointing her finger, babushka said, "If you do as I say, I will show you a book passed down from 1,000 years from mother to daughter, until I only had a son. So I have had to wait an extra long time to pass the gift on to you, and for you to be ready. I am now so old. I wish I were younger so I could teach you so many things. But it does not matter. It is the book that will teach you, not me. I only wish I had more time." As Roberta walked out the door, Olga whispered something to no one but herself. The cars pulled off the road until they came to an old shack down by Dalton's Creek. "Does everyone have their tobacco?" Jasmine asked. "Yes," everyone answered. But later, when the old woman asked Roberta for the tobacco, Roberta said, "Oh my God, I had it. I really did. Shit." Roberta couldn't believe it. How could she have messed up like this? She thought to herself, but then she said, "Look, it must be in the car. Let me go get it out." But the old woman would have none of it, and she slammed Roberta back into the chair and took a deep breath in. But she could not smell any gypsy on Roberta, so she said, "Next time," as she handed Roberta the drink. A big smile came to Roberta's face as she lifted the glass, and just then everything got foggy. And the next thing she knew, she was being dragged out of the shack by a wolf, and the old woman was dead. Each of the old woman was dead. Later on, Olga said, "Your friends will wake up near their cars, and they won't feel very good for the next few weeks, but they'll recover." "What was all that, babushka?" said Roberta. "We gypsies have had a truce with the Salem witches for centuries now, and it looks like the witches have broken the truce. The Gypsy Council has been informed of what has happened. Hopefully it can all be handled diplomatically. If not, it could mean war between the gypsies and the witches. Witches have many masks, gypsies only one. When we go into a trance, our spirit wolf will roam the night and destroy our enemies for us while we're meditating in the trance. We won the last war only because our spirit wolf can quite literally spot witches. Because to the spirit wolf that we become in our trance, the witches glow in the dark, and their magic doesn't work on gypsies or our spirit wolf. So we were able to use this ability that our spirit wolves have to turn the tables on the witches until they sued for peace, which has now lasted these many centuries." Olga brought out the book, then cut her finger and ordered Roberta to do the same thing. "Quickly," she shouted. Then they both dripped their blood onto the book while Olga spoke in a strange tongue. I have now passed on the blessing and the curse onto you. From now on, I will only visit you in your dreams. But you must promise to listen to me, Roberta, for I will be speaking the truth, always the truth." This cedar chest at the end of my bed is not a cedar chest. It will protect the book and kill anyone who tries to steal it. And if you are ever wounded or poisoned, crawl inside of it, and it will heal you. It will always do what it can to protect you, and it will keep track of you. She looked at it lovingly, as if for the last time, then said, and if you die before you have a child, like I thought I would, it will wait until someone who has the gift of second sight and can hear the music of the book follows that music to the book, and in opening the book a finger will be cut and a drop of blood will seal the deal. I thought that would be my fate, not to have anyone to turn the book over to. But before my time was done, Roberta, I'd lost all hope until that day I heard you humming, and I realized that you could hear the music of the book. I pulled you to my chest and I nearly hugged the breath out of you. God had blessed me with a miracle. I remember I said, Roberta, I did not think that it was possible. A miracle, something I could not wrap my brain around. But it meant that I did have someone to turn the book over to when the time came. Now, Roberta, you must climb into the cedar chest and sleep. And when you awake, you will know things and be things you never before dreamed possible. Roberta did not entirely trust Babushka, but she did what she was told and crawled into the chest with the book. When she climbed out of the chest and walked into the kitchen, her parents looked at her and asked, have you been out all weekend? No. What? It's almost 6 a.m. If you don't leave now for work, you'll be late. Where's grandmother? Roberta asked, but her parents did not answer. They just gave each other a strange look and said nothing. So Roberta hurried off to work.